Hi, my name is Dave Capote, and I'm a film and digital photographer from Austin, Texas, and these are blank negatives that almost ruined me a wedding. So January 2nd, I shot a wedding in Houston, Texas at the historic Hill House, and it's a beautiful venue, and the bride and groom are actually friends of mine, and I almost made a terrible mistake. So I shoot primarily on Fujifilm. Right now I'm recording on the X-T4, and behind me is the Fuji 50R, which is a medium format digital camera. But I am a film photographer at the same time, so I shoot a Mamiya RZ67 medium format, a Mamiya 7, and a Nikon F3, as well as all the other cameras behind me. And whenever I'm shooting weddings or any kind of portraiture, I really like to single out the RZ67 as the portrait master and my Mamiya 7 to be like my landscape shooter. And honestly, I shoot a lot of landscapes and a lot of studio stuff, and I don't always shoot the RZ67. So when I have the opportunity to, I will. And this wedding, I chose to shoot the RZ67 with multiple rolls of Ektar, Portra 400, even some positive film like Ektachrome. And I almost had a major malfunction. Actually, I did have a major malfunction, but it was self-driven. So here we have the Mamiya RZ67. And this camera is absolutely amazing. It is a medium format 120 film waist level viewfinder camera. So that means that you look through this prism out through the front of the glass, and that's how you can look through, you can focus, you can shoot all your photos. So everybody who tells you, who has shot with a waist level viewfinder, a good waist level viewfinder, has told you that they would rather see through a waist level viewfinder than their own eyes. Like, it is that perfect and pristine, and it just looks amazing every time that you're shooting through. And so there was a part of the wedding where I was shooting bridal portraits and newlywed portraits. So they had just gotten married. I had shot all morning with this and my other digital cameras and got some of these shots right here, and they turned out amazing, and I'm super happy with them. And there got this point where we had scouted out at the cabin, at the reception. There's this hallway, and there's a window that really, like, this backlit portraits, and it looks amazing. It's a narrow hallway. I'll put up a digital photo right here. And it was just like looking through this viewfinder and looking at the bride and groom like posed up. Like, when I was shooting just the bride, I had to tell the groom, like, hey, come over here and look at your bride right now, because this might be one of the greatest photos that I've ever taken in my life. And I thought that it was one of the greatest photos I had ever taken in my life. So I cocked the shutter, boom. You hear it right now. There's no film in there, but fires no matter what. Usually with this RZ67, you get a little red light if there is one problem. The dark slide is still in the camera. I didn't put it back behind where I normally do to store it. The dark slide was still in position, and normally every single other time that I've shot, if you leave that dark slide in, it won't let you press the shutter in. It'll just like half press, and then you'll see a light and you'll be like, hey, why is my camera shooting? And then you look and you're like, oh, my dark slide's out. Let me pull it out and put it in. And that happens every single time that does it. But of course, on an occasion like a wedding, if there's any other shoot, you can reshoot if there's an issue. Weddings only happen once, hopefully. But, oh man, I got all the way through shooting her bridal session, shooting the newlywed session, the entrances to the reception, And then all of a sudden I was shooting some details, and I was shooting these flowers of this photo right here. And before I pressed the shutter, I was like, oh wait, the dark slide's still in. And I go and I put it in the back. And as I'm putting in the dark slide to the storage position, I was like, did I just mess up 7 of the best photos I've ever taken in my life? And at that moment, I immediately knew that I had messed up majorly. And it was probably the worst feeling that I've ever had. And luckily I had the foresight where I saw the way that the photos were turning out, and I knew that when the light was coming through that window, that was going to be my time to shine. Like, those are going to be the best photos that I'm going to take. Let me grab my medium digital format camera and take photos alongside with my RZ67 so that I can send sneak peeks within a couple days while I'm waiting for the film to come back, because I know that this is going to be the best photo of the whole entire wedding. Like, I knew this photo is like my portfolio piece for the rest of my life. Let me take a backup so that I can send it to her so that she could post it to Instagram, send it to her family, and do whatever. And if I had not done that, if I were to just have shot film, which I shoot all the time, like I shoot rolls of film daily, if not weekly, and sometimes they get messed up and sometimes they come out absolutely amazing. And I knew, I don't want to mess this up. Let me be redundant and shoot a second form and have this photo. And if I didn't do that, I would never have these photos. And I don't know if the gallery that I sent would have the same allure to the groom and bride that had with this photo. I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough, but I was so upset with myself because it was a user error. It wasn't just like, oh, the light didn't come up, so it's got to be the camera's fault. No, it is my fault. Like, being ex-military, like, you double check and triple check and go through checklists. Especially as a pilot, you go through checklists so that things like this don't happen. And when you get complacent and you're like in the spur of the moment and time's running out and you're like, oh, I gotta get this photo, boom. Dark slide's in there, no exposure comes out. I was stunned. So luckily I have the digital photo and it's amazing, don't get me wrong. Like, one of the best wedding photos that I've taken. A little bit overexposed, but still a great photo. I know that if I had the film photo, I could recover more of the highlights and the roll off between the highlights and stuff like that, that it would have been not just a great photo, but an amazing photo and a portfolio piece and something that I would show probably for the rest of my life. And so I'm just making this video so that you, if you're shooting film and digital and you're thinking about, hey, I have this really important shoot coming up, I really love the look of digital, or I really love the look of film, I want to shoot it all on film. If you're getting paid for it, don't take the chance. Like, I look up to Ben Chaish, who is one of my favorite photographers. He's out of the Pacific Northwest and he shoots like these amazing elopements and shoots on Leicas, and he's just absolutely amazing. Hope one day I can meet and work with him or do something like that. And he shoots on an M6 and an MP, but I know that he shoots on an M240 as well, which is a digital camera, because sometimes things happen, and he shoots on a Fujifilm X100V. Like, I know everything that he shoots on, and I know that he, like, sure, he wouldn't have made the same mistake that I did, but I know how important it is to have one shot at something and make sure that you have everything that you need. So from now on, will I shoot just film for something that I'm getting paid thousands of dollars for? Absolutely not. Like, I am getting paid money to capture memories, once in a lifetime memories. There's no way that I'm leaving it up to chance. I'm not even leaving it up to just having one digital camera body. I have multiple camera bodies because I am so afraid to lose something that if one camera dies, I have a second body backup. And it is so important to have backups because you never know when your trusty Mamiya RZ67 is not going to show you that little red dot, and you're going to lose some of the best photos that you ever had in your life. That being said, still super happy with how the entire gallery turns out. I know I'm sounding like a negative Nancy, but it was just that, like, looking through the Waysala viewfinder and seeing the sun rays and everything coming through this beautiful like glass and everything, I was just so excited. And seeing these blank negatives, I was so disappointed, and I just don't want it to happen to you. So hopefully that helped you. If you all have any questions, like, ask them in the comments below. I will more than be happy to answer anything for you. And thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I never have to make another video like this ever again. Thanks.